America and breaking news. President Trump calls for a strike on Iran, then suddenly calls it off as tensions escalate. Overnight, President Trump launching planes, getting ships in position, ordering a strike on Iran, then abruptly calling it off. As the crisis comes to a head, Iran now releasing this video, claiming it shows the moment Iran shot down that U.S. drone, saying it was in Iranian airspace. And now these new images this morning claiming they're pieces of the downed drone. And the FAA and carriers around the world now banning planes from flying in the region this morning. Our team live in Washington and in the Middle East with the latest.
Also breaking this morning, a massive explosion in Philadelphia.
Oh my gosh.
A fire erupting at one of the largest oil refineries on the East Coast, sending huge flames and smoke into the air. Residents told to shelter in place. Hazmat now on the scene.
Deadly storms stretch from the heartland to the East Coast. This twister tearing through Minnesota and a flooding emergency in New Jersey. Now 15 states at risk.
The vicious attack at the beach, the moment a sea lion swims up to a 13-year-old, lunges and then bites her in the leg. And now the new warning this morning, why these incidents could be on the rise.
The new health alert about teens and their phones. The shocking x-rays showing some growing so-called horns. Is it from staring at their screens too much?
Zion Williamson.
And Zion's the one. The Duke standout, the top pick in the NBA draft. The emotional moment with his mother and his message to fans.
And they stay there.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning, America, and thank you guys for joining us on this very busy Friday morning. We're following a lot of breaking news.
Yeah, it's a really busy Friday here. Take a look, guys, at Philadelphia this morning, where the largest oil refinery on the eastern seaboard is on fire. Residents there in South Philly have been told to shelter in place as fire and hazmat crews try to get this under control.
Just incredible pictures, and we're going to have more on that in just a moment. But first, we begin with the crisis in Iran. Overnight, President Trump approving a military strike, retaliating after Iran shot down that U.S. surveillance drone, but then reversing course at the last minute with planes already in the air. Our chief global affairs correspondent, Martha Raddatz, leading us off this morning. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, David. The world is bracing this morning to see if President Trump launches retaliatory strikes against Iran after officials say a planned strike last night was called off by the president himself. The U.S. military is again ready to launch at a moment's notice, but it is now unclear if and when that will happen. Sources tell ABC News that President Trump approved a strike against Iran last night before abruptly changing his mind. The New York Times first reporting planes were in the air and ships were in position before the president called off the strikes against the advice of Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and National Security Advisor John Bolton. The strikes were set to include Iranian radar and missile batteries that one official says could have caused civilian casualties. But the reason for the stand-down order is still unclear. The move would be in retaliation for the shoot-down of the American drone, which this morning Iranian TV is showing images of what they say is part of the recovered wreckage they now have. Thursday, Iran showed video of what they claim is their surface-to-air missile streaking toward the U.S. drone, exploding on impact. This video hasn't been verified. In a video released by the U.S. military, the drone is seen plunging into the waters below. The unarmed and unmanned aircraft, one of America's most sophisticated drones, cost $130 million. Its wingspan as broad as a 737. The drone was monitoring the Gulf of Oman, where recent attacks were carried out on oil tankers, and over the Strait of Hormuz, that vital oil shipping waterway. The U.S. military claims it was flying in international airspace, pinpointing the drone as roughly 21 miles from the Iranian coast when it was hit. well away from the 12-mile territorial limit. But Iran maintains the drone was in Iranian airspace. Its Revolutionary Guard Corps stating, "An enemy that violates our borders will not return and will be destroyed." The president initially issuing a stern warning.
They made a very bad mistake.
But then suggesting it may have been a foolish error, seeming to question whether Iran intended to shoot down the drone.
I find it hard to believe it was intentional, if you want to know the truth. I think that it could have been somebody who was loose and stupid that did it.
Those waters are protected by an Iranian naval fleet of small but swift boats, and what Iran lacks in air power, they make up for in missiles, capable of launching retaliatory missile strikes against Israel, Saudi Arabia, or the UAE, and proxy groups with the power to sow chaos through attacks across the Middle East.
All right, so let's get right back to Martha Raddatz monitoring this all night. And Martha, Iran doubling down this morning after President Trump said there that this might have been some sort of mistake, this shoot down. Iran saying it was no mistake. We did this. This was Iranian airspace, they say.
Exactly. In fact, Iran even tweeting out coordinates of where they say the drone was flying and where it was shot down, still claiming this morning it was in Iranian airspace, but being quite clear that they shot the U.S. drone down on purpose, David.
All right, Martha Raddatz starting us off on a Friday morning. Martha, thank you. Cecilia?
Okay, David, and we know that President Trump is feeling the pressure this morning. Before he abruptly called off the strike overnight, he said, just as we heard right there with Martha and David, the drone could have been brought down by someone loose and stupid. So let's bring in our senior national correspondent, Terry Moran, at the White House there. Terry, the president seemed to be leaving an out for Iran there.
For sure, if they'll take it, Cecilia. That was a remarkable moment in the Oval Office here with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. You could see in real time the president's indecisiveness on striking Iran. 1 minute saying that the United States will not stand for it. The next, maybe it wasn't intentional. He does seem to be inviting Iran to talk. The problem is Iran has one strategic goal here: get rid of sanctions. And sir, there's no sign that that regime wants to talk. They don't want a deal. They want to win.
And Terry, we know that there have been divisions in the president's own inner circle. There are hardliners who've been advising him and openly advocating for a strike on Iran.
That's right. No question. National Security Advisor John Bolton has openly advocated regime change in Iran this year. And his Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, also a hardliner on Tehran, but he doesn't go that far. And then there's Fox News hosts like Tucker Carlson, who is openly urging the president to stand down. We know he listens to them. Meanwhile, on Capitol Hill, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi is urging that he proceed with caution. So there are a lot of conflicting voices in the president's ear at this very tense moment right now. Cecilia?
A lot of conflicting voices indeed. Terry Moran, thank you. Michael?
All right, now let's go to James Longman, who's in the region near the area where the drone was shot down. And James, the FAA and international airlines, they are now restricting flights where you are.
Yeah, that's right, Michael. It was in the skies above me that drone was brought down. This is the stretch of water that Martha was talking about, leads into the Strait of Hormuz, the vital passageway over which tension has been dramatically ramping up. And as you say, the U.S. Aviation Authority and other world airlines are banning flights from this area. This whole region is now bracing itself for the action that didn't come last night, but that many here expect will come in some form or other. A quarter of the world's oil supply comes through here, and it's where those two oil tankers were, the US says, attacked by Iran. If the US does strike Iran, one fear is that Iran would activate their many proxies in places like Iraq, the Palestinian territories, and Yemen to retaliate against US interests in this region. David?
All right, James, our thanks to you as well. Let's get right to Colonel Steve Ganyard with us this morning. And Steve, first off, how common is this? You have the president who approved attacks. The operation was underway, planes in the air, ships in position. Then it's suddenly called off, and now the world knows about this. And more importantly, Iran knows.
It's very rare, David. I think the Iranians were anticipating that something would happen, but I think it's also indicative of the angst in the debate within the White House because they don't want to escalate the situation. They want a proportional response. We know that the region's a powder keg. If they step too far, if they retaliate too far, things could get out of hand.
Seems to be adding to the instability. And Steve, we know there's reporting that the president approved attacks on Iranian targets, including a radar, missile batteries. You and I were talking about that overnight, that was a possibility. So what do you think it was that had the president suddenly stop this at the last minute? And what next? Does the U.S. stand down completely now?
Well, they're probably thinking about a couple things, David. They're thinking about what are the second and third order effects? What happens the day after? And if they didn't have a clear indication of what might happen and how this might get out of control, maybe they step back for a day. This is not over. Also think about this surface-to-air missile system. It moves around, so the missile that was actually shot may have driven off. And if they wanted to take out that particular missile system, maybe they can't find it.
And Steve, you know you have the world leaders who have said before with the oil ships targeted that we need more evidence here. You've now got Iran putting out coordinates of that drone, as Martha reported. Any chance this U.S. Navy surveillance drone was flying in Iranian airspace?
There's a chance, David. Everybody, mistakes get made in war, but I think that these types of surveillance flights have been going on for years, and the U.S. deliberately flies, as James was referencing, deliberately flies along commercial airline routes so as to stay out of sovereign territory. So mistakes could have been made on the U.S. side, but also think about that surface-to-air missile system. It was mobile. Maybe their system wasn't appropriately calibrated. Maybe they truly did believe that that drone was inside of Iranian airspace. Lots of questions that need to be answered.
Many questions. Colonel Gagnon, our thanks to you this morning as well. And as soon as we have new information on this, Cecilia, we'll bring it to people at home.
As he said, it's not over yet. Okay, David, we're going to turn to our other top headline this morning. That major fire in Philadelphia early this morning. A refinery exploding, sending massive flames and plumes of smoke into the air. People there told to shelter in place as hazmat and fire crews respond to the scene. ABC's Whit Johnson is right there live with the very latest. Good morning, Whit.
Cecilia, good morning to you. We can still see flames and smoke billowing from that massive oil refining complex behind me. Officials say that the fire at this time is confined but not out. Still plenty of fuel left to burn through. The explosion so strong it rattled homes as far away as New Jersey.
Yo, I can't believe this. Oh my gosh.
Overnight, South Philadelphia rocked by a series of massive explosions.
We just had an explosion. With heavy fire, he was requesting a third alarm for this location.
Hazmat and fire crews rushing to the scene of the Philadelphia Energy Solutions refinery. The first explosion reported just after 3 a.m.
There is some sort of fire on the grounds of the refinery.
Homes as far away as South New Jersey shaking. Some residents reporting the explosions knocked art off their walls, raining debris in their neighborhoods. The massive fire and smoke seen for miles.
And we're also learning this morning that there was another fire at this same oil refining complex earlier this month. It was extinguished safely. This blast still under investigation this morning. So far, no reports of any injuries. Cecilia?
Yeah, and Whit, it was a really nerve-wracking evening for so many people there. What is the status of this shelter-in-place order?
Yeah, Cecilia, that shelter-in-place order went out to all of the homes and businesses in the immediate area. But just in the past few minutes, they canceled that order, saying that they're still working on containing the fire, but they say there's no longer a danger to the public and that the air quality for now is still safe.
That is good news. Okay, Whit, thank you. Michael?
All right, Cecilia. Also in Philadelphia this morning, there is growing outrage as dozens of police officers are accused of posting offensive and racist statements on social media. And now the investigation is expanding to other states. ABC's Gio Benitez is here with the story. Good morning, Gio.
Michael, good morning. Good morning, everyone. We're talking about public postings all across social media. And Philly's police commissioner believes they will undeniably impact the relationship between officers and the communities they serve. It's a massive investigation this morning from coast to coast.
No justice!
This morning, the Philadelphia Police Department under fire. Protests breaking out as 72 officers are taken off the streets, part of a social media scandal rocking 8 U.S. cities. The advocacy group Plainview Project compiling more than 5,000 racist and offensive Facebook posts allegedly made by 3,500 current and former officers nationwide.
We will not have racist police patrolling our streets.
The posts, some going back at least 8 years, include comments like "death to Islam," others promoting violence. One meme reading, "Get the protester plow." Another saying, "I'll just shoot you and be done with it." The database also revealing multiple references to the Confederate flag.
It makes me sick, to be honest with you. It really makes me sick because we are in a position to know better.
The Philadelphia NAACP calling for those involved in the scandal to be fired, and the commissioner promising some would lose their jobs. But the police union standing behind its officers, saying it's premature and irresponsible for the commissioner to tell the public that police officers will be fired without a complete investigation. Our officers are entitled to due process just like any other citizen. Now, multiple departments are conducting internal reviews, including Phoenix and Dallas. In St. Louis, 22 officers are already under investigation, 3 placed on administrative leave. And Philadelphia's mayor calls the postings extremely disturbing. In a statement released by the commissioner, he says the comments do not in any way reflect the values and beliefs of the thousands of honorable officers who make up this department. But boy, so many questions this morning.
Disturbing. Yeah. All right, Gio, thank you. We're going to turn now to the new surveillance video, and this is difficult this morning, showing that brutal assault on TSA agents at the Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport this week. Look at this. You see a man trying to plow past a security checkpoint, running through a metal detector, then knocking down an agent, trying to punch another before he was eventually tackled. The 19-year-old arrested, charged with criminal trespassing, resisting arrest, and assault. In the meantime, we're going to turn now to that severe weather alert. The storm's turning deadly overnight, and now 15 states are bracing for another round of flooding, dangerous winds, dangerous driving on this Friday, and Ginger's here tracking it all. Morning, Ginger.
Morning, David. The last official day of spring, and it went out with a bang. Look at this. Redwood Falls, Minnesota. You see the tornado there, and then there was damage in South Carolina from really high winds. This tree into a home. A woman was rescued there in Florence, but in Columbia, one man died when a tree fell on him. So this is the type of wind we are worried about today, especially if you live in Iowa, northern Missouri, parts of Illinois, all the way down to Huntsville, Alabama. So Nashville, you're included in that severe threat today. Then state of emergency was declared in New Jersey because of that close to half foot of rain that fell right outside of Philadelphia. This was Lumberton, New Jersey. There were several places that had dozens of high water rescues. Where we think that could happen this weekend, the unfortunate thing is that Tulsa, right along that Arkansas River, the Missouri River, and the Mississippi that we've been talking about for months could get up to 6 inches of rain this weekend, Michael.
Well, we're going to turn now to the NBA draft, and the dream's coming true for 60 young basketball stars. And no surprise, the top pick was Duke phenom Zion Williamson, and he made sure to thank his mom. TJ Holmes is here with all the details. Good morning, TJ.
You knew it, you knew it, you knew it. We all knew it, and Zion Williamson knew it. He was going to be the #1 pick. This is a generational talent, the phenom from Duke, who has been a lock to be the #1 draft pick. And sure enough, his name was called first. But still, guys, when his name was called, and he knew it was going to be called, still, the moment was overwhelming to him. Take a listen now and look at what happened.
She put her dreams aside for mine. She always looked out for the family first before herself.
Six, 6'7", 285, guys, and he could not keep the emotion in. And his teammate, R.J. Barrett, same thing, went #3 to the Knicks. He had to stop the interview and put his head in his dad's shoulder, right? These are 18 and 19-year-old kids. And these moments, they've been waiting for these their whole lives. And even though the lives are just 18, 19, this was the moment that changes everything.
Life-changing moments.
Very
right
human
there.
moments last night. It was cool.
Yeah, I watched a lot of crying yesterday, which is justified. But what are some of the other highlights from last night?
Kobe White's hair. Kobe White, the guard from North Carolina. Yes. Look, he's known for his hair. He's a great talent, but he's known for his hair. Couldn't get the hat on. Everybody had a good time with him last night.
My daughters and I were talking about his hair yesterday. I'm not going to say it. Okay.
Good hair.
Here we go.
A lot more coming up here this morning on GMA. A lot of other headlines, including that rare attack at the beach. Caught on camera, a sea lion biting a 13-year-old girl near the shore, and a new warning about more of this happening.
And that health alert about teens in their phones. The new research suggesting some are growing so-called horns. Is it because of too much technology? But first, we're going to go back to Ginger.
No way. All right, I guess we'll learn more. But let's get to the weekend getaways brought to you by Amazon Prime. Checking for horns.
Free shipping, even on furniture, with Prime. Well, happy summer solstice today, headed up to 80 to 84 degrees on this Friday. Yes, it's going to be breezy to windy. Our winds at times today could gust just over 30 miles per hour, including the evening before that wind starts to settle after about 8 o'clock. Now, if you're headed to the beach, your beach location's looking like 80 to 81 degrees. Dry, great conditions this weekend with water temperatures just about 65 to 66 degrees. 87 Sunday, look at the heat building early next week.
No horns here. No horns here.
I knew my daughter could be at risk of certain cancers later in life from an infection, human papillomavirus. I knew that HPV could lead to certain cancers. I knew her risk for HPV increases as she